Hey guys, how you doing? So today we're going to be going over highs and lows, how to identify them, and then we're going to go into trends as well. Using highs and lows, how do we identify an uptrend, a downtrend, and a sideways moving trend? So let's get right into it. So to identify a high or low, you need three candles. Okay, you need three candles to identify a high or a low. And out of these three candles, the middle candle for a high, the wick of the middle candle. If you don't know what a wick is and you don't know what a body is, I suggest you go watch the video that I made before this, which talks about only about candlesticks and what the pieces are called in a candlestick and things like that. So yeah, go watch that video. But getting back to the topic, so this is a high. Why is this a high? I mean, obviously it looks like a high, but what makes it a high? Well, it's this middle candle. The wick is higher than the one to the left of it and the right of it. That's what makes it a high. If this wick did not extend past the one on the left, then this would not be a high. But since it does, it becomes a high. Now, for a low, it's just the opposite. The middle wick is lower than the one to the right of it and the one to the left of it. You see that? The wick is lower. Let's look over here. Here it's a high because the wick in the middle of these three candlesticks is higher. Okay, it's just that simple. That's how you identify a high or low, is just through three candles, and it shows you a high or low. So this is, for example, another low. Here we have the wick extending past the right or the left. So let's find an example of what's not a high and what's not a low. Now this right here is not a high. This right here, this might look like a high, but it's not, because this middle candle, yes, is higher than the one on the left, but it's not higher than the one on the right. So if we go up a little bit, this is a high though, because the one on to the right of it, it's higher than the one to the right of it and the one to the left of it. So you might, some candles, some highs may look like highs, but they're actually not. Like here, this may look like a high, but it's not. The one to the right of it is lower, but the one to the left of it is higher. Same situation right here. This was the middle body. The one to the left of it is higher, and the one to the right of it is lower. This is a high though. Right here, this is middle candle. It's higher than the one to the left and to the one to the right. So that is a high. So now with that in mind, let's get into trends. We have an uptrend, which looks like this. We have a downtrend, which looks like this. And then we have a sideways moving trend, which looks like this. Okay, so let's go over an uptrend. An uptrend is just higher highs and higher lows. What I mean by this is a high, okay? And this is a low. Right here, that's a low. Now, this is also high, but this high is higher than the previous one. So this becomes a higher high. Now, this is also low, but this low is again higher than the previous low. So this is a higher low. Then here we have another high right here. But this is a higher high because it's higher than the previous high. So this becomes a higher high. Then same thing again for the low. This is a low, but this is a higher low. And that's how we can identify an uptrend. We have higher highs and higher lows. And if it keeps going, create another higher high and another higher low, then we are still in an uptrend. Now, a downtrend is just the opposite of an uptrend. So here we have a high. Here we have a low. Here we have another high. But this high is lower than this high, so it becomes a lower high. Then here we have another low, and this low is lower than the previous low. Let's keep this going a little bit. Now here we have another high, but this high is lower than the previous high, so it's a lower high. Here we have another low, but this low is lower than the previous low, so we have a lower low. So yeah, if this continues, then this is a downtrend. The downtrend is just lower highs and lower lows. An uptrend is just higher highs and higher lows. Now this is a sideways moving trend, or also known as a consolidation. How do we identify it? Well, it's simple. It doesn't follow an uptrend or downtrend. It's a bit random. So here we have a high, here we have a low, now here we have a higher high. But now if we were to do an uptrend, we'd have a higher low if we were in an uptrend. But now we get a lower low. Then here, okay, maybe we're switching into a downtrend. Here we get a lower high, which is in the downtrend. But now here we get a higher low. So again, we're not in a downtrend. Then here we get a higher high, a lower low, then we get a lower high, then we get a lower low, then we get a lower high, then here we get a lower low, higher low, sorry, higher low. As you can see, it doesn't follow any shape. It doesn't follow an uptrend, it doesn't follow a downtrend, it doesn't follow any shape. It's just moving sideways. And people will think that this big move lower means that, okay, now we are automatically going lower. But this is not the case at all. We have to start creating a trend. Like right here, we're setting ourselves up. And if we expanded past here and continued, and this created a lower high again, and then this was a lower low, then we'd start to create a trend here. But that's not what we did. We didn't create a lower low. We created a higher high, and then we created a lower low, and then a lower high. It's not following a trend, so it's a consolidation. It's just moving sideways. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the line charts. Let's hop into the chart itself and look for some trends. So here we have a downtrend. How can we identify that? Well, here we have a high right here. You can see middle candle extends past the left and the right. So here we have a high. Down here we have a low. Again, middle candle extends past the left and the right. So here we have a low. Here we have a lower high. This high is lower than this high. Then here we have a lower low. This low right here is lower than this low. So we have a lower low. Then again here we have a lower high. And all the way down there we'll have another lower low. And as you can see, this creates a downtrend. This is the downtrend right here. If we take this, look at that. High, low. Lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. That's how we create a downtrend. Okay, now here we have an uptrend. Let's go through it. So here we have a low. Here we have a high right here. Then here we have another low. This low is higher than this one. So higher low. Here we have a high. This high is higher than this one. Higher high. Then here we have, so this is an uptrend right here, as we can see, because here we have a low. Let's bring this out here. Here we have a low right here. Then here we have a high. Then we have a higher low. And then here we have a higher high. And that's what creates the uptrend. Now in this sector we have a consolidation. Here we have a high. Here we have a low. Then we have a higher high. Then we have a lower low. Then we have a lower high. Then we have a lower low. Then we have a lower high. Then we have a higher low. Then a higher high. Then a higher low. Then a higher high. Then a lower low. You can see this, it's not following a trend, it's just moving sideways. This, as we can see from the line chart, is just moving sideways. We're creating higher highs right here. We're creating lower lows. Then we're creating a lower high, then a lower low, lower high. Then now we create a higher low. It's not following a trend. It's just a mix of lower highs, lower lows, higher highs, and higher lows. Just a mix of all of them. That's basically what creates a consolidation or sideways moving trend. And being able to identify a consolidation is crucial when it comes to trading. And knowing when one is coming, that's something different. That's something we'll go over on this channel. But it's very important to know what a consolidation is. And if you can see one coming, then it's even better. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you identify what a high is and a low is, and how to identify the different sort of trends that there are, the uptrend, downtrend, and sideways moving trend. If you guys have any suggestions over what you want me to go over and explain, then drop it down in the comments below and I'll make a video about it. So yeah, have a nice day.